Shouts out to the Most High. Salute to the Most High. We pay homage to our ancestors and our spiritual team. Also, we salute to all the chosen seed and respect to the collective. You know, the Most High just has been channeling many, tremendously many messages. Some I be occupied, making my bread and stuff like that. But nevertheless, he just wanted to ensure some of the chosen who are not sure, and also those who are sure that our opportunity is here. We can have whatever we want. You know what I'm saying? Because you earned it, because you went through things that people could never ever go through. Some of you guys may be in a mindset right now, striving to figure out if you're on the right path and so forth, so on. If you're seeing angel numbers, if you're seeing birds, um, if you're seeing positive things in your life, or you run across people who are giving you messages, you're most definitely in the right spot. You're on the right track as well. Um, you know, so it's a lot to talk about today, but we'll make it short and simple. Um, the first thing that the Most High want me to speak about is this magic. The magic that these enemies that, AKA ops, decided to create themselves to become. Um, you are a match they could never match, and to this day they're still scratching their heads trying to still figure out how we are able to do what we do. We're able to do what we do because we're the essence of the Most High. You know, you still got your stalkers. Just don't forget that. You still got them, your exes, my exes, whatever. They all just won't go away. You know what I'm saying? Miss opportunity, allow them to not be able to receive the opportunity. This is the crazy part. I most definitely can speak about my situation in the past. We're not giving them no play. Is that this woman knew what she's supposed to have been doing. She didn't want to do it. She wanted to chase, meat. You know what I'm saying? Y'all understand that? She wanted to. The crazy part, listen, y'all. I want y'all to listen very well. It's delusional what I'm about to speak on. When you find people who just have all the clothes that we buy, right? They're cheap, okay? I don't care what it could be. Kanye's, Jay-Z, whoever, all of it's cheap. And the reason why I say it's cheap because they're putting a price on it to give it a number. When you look at numbers, numbers are imaginary. Think about it. If you get a pen and a piece of paper right now, and you was to write on that piece of paper right now, you can write any number you want to. You could be a trillionaire. You can even draw a picture that looks just like you, or you can find an artist to draw a picture just like you. You know what I'm saying? That's manifestation. Is it possible to happen? Absolutely. And I want to say this why it's on my mind. For those who want to be millionaires or have more wealth, you have to be financially literate. In order to understand money, you have to understand your behavior with money in order to actually have money. You also have to understand the type of people that you deal with who don't get money. So that means if you're around broke people, then you tend to may have a bag, but your bag gonna be uh, completed, of course. Maybe not all the way, but because you got the bloodsucker, thirsty, won't do nothing with themselves, money hungry people who'll give you all these different examples why you should give them something. If you don't give them something, then they're gonna do something to you. That's a warning for someone out there that may be in that situation. That's a message. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get all types of downloads and different messages, and you got different people in here, so you just never know what anybody's going through or trying to overcome or trying to figure out. That's what we're here for. We're here to help one another. We're not here to be like the government and all the other places, and say we're gonna help you and this and that and third, and just give you a little and the bare minimum, or give you nothing and expect you to be on your best behavior. And then, of course, we don't want you on your best behavior, because if that's the case, with the crime rate would be low and We would show people that we really care about people, and we'll make sure that everybody has a roof over their head, a job, and food and shelter, and clothing, transportation, etc. But then we'll say, well, they got free will, and because of their free will, this is why they're actually getting dismantled, and so forth, so on. Yeah, we got the Jim Crow laws. That's what we really doing, but we done covered up by telling you statutes and code. When we read the dictionary tells you that statutes mean statute and the code mean code. It doesn't have nothing to do with LAW, which is law. Oh yeah, well, you gotta obey our laws, but you can't. We can disrespect the universal laws, which the universal laws say that everyone's sovereign, and he or she has their own free will to do whatever they need to do to provide for themselves. They don't need to come to us for permission. Now we ain't listen to universal law. We're going to do whatever we want to do when it comes down to universal law, and people are going to look up to us as God, and we're going to manipulate people by God. We're going to give them a book to read, and then of course there's some truth in it, but it also some deceptive lies. And God didn't give us the ability to write the book, because if he gave us the ability to write the book, then everything would be in order. The world is not in order. It's out of order. And when you got false leaders, they call themselves leaders. But when you got those type of people, you can't afford to listen to them. You know what I mean? You can't afford to listen to them. It can cost you your life, and it can cost you to lose many other different things. But anyway, moving forward, it just feels good when the Most High come back to you and remind you of some things that when you get in that dark place that people feel that you're not in, and the Most High remind you how much you've accomplished. Us chosen, see, we're so used to, or maybe now, or even the past, I would say the past, most of the chosen were so used to wanting support from other people that didn't really care to support them unless they benefited from it. I mean, I got stories for days come down to that, the projections, the reverse psychology, and the rebuttal and the backstabbing, the talking about you behind your back, the phone calls, the DMs, and all that crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Gaslighting, love bombing, so forth, so on. If you guys have not subscribed, man, most definitely tap in. Not just because I'm saying, but just give it a shot and see if you can actually gain something, with the free opportunity, and see where it can lead you. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are misled and looking for results that allows them not to see any results. It actually affects them in so many ways, and this is what makes people discouraged and makes them not believe in the Most High. But you have to remember this important thing. Man, for those who fit the category, don't serve the Most High. And those who so-called rule the world, or ruled at one point, because it's over with now, everybody will get to see as these things transition and transpired and transform, that they'll be having a seat. Now, where their seat will be at, who knows? It depends on how the Most High feel. He may want to disable them mentally, or he may want to disable their physical body. He may want to put them in a casket. He may want to have them running around, going crazy. You know what I'm saying? By their free will, they're going to choose their poison. It just depends. As chosen, I've been looking at some of the other chosen and some of the stuff they talked about, regurgitate just a little bit. How we get attacked in our root chakra, our sacred chakra, and our solar plex. Not that the other chakras don't get attacked, but them the main ones, because them more connected to the earthly side, versus your heart chakra is really universal on up. Now, per se, well, your throat chakra is connected, but your throat chakra comes from your spirit that allows you to actually speak. So, I mean, it can be 50-50 or half and half, however, but in our reality, what's going on, Joel? And not tell me you said hi. That's like you demanding. I see you down there. Are you subscribed since you demanding things? Shouts out to Joel. Everybody speak to Joel. He's need people to speak to him. Welcome to the broadcast, Joel. New or subscriber. But this is the time for people to really start stepping out their comfort zone. Your comfort zone is where you're comfortable with what everybody else is doing for those who fit the category, who does these things and trying to keep up with the Joneses. These Joneses can't keep up with themselves. You know, it's a facade that people come out acting like they got so much money, but or they got so much of this and that, but they don't got nothing going on. They don't even have favor for the Most High, and you can know these type of people by what they say out their mouth and what action they have taken or going to take or are willing to take. And what I could tell you, majority of the people that is in the forefront, meaning in front of the public globally, they're not doing anything for the people at all. You know, I was telling somebody, if you take all the money from the wealthiest people and the people who may be in the 10%, 20%, there's enough money to go around. And on top of that, if you go look at money mechanics, money mechanics will actually tell you how money is actually circulated and how it came about, and also it'll give you an introduction of how much you've been lied to, or all of us been lied to about. There's a drought in money, and when you hear they had to crash this and crash that, and you know all this bullshit. They just be telling people just to distract you so you won't focus on seeking the truth. And when there are truth seekers and truth tellers such as myself and all those who are out there, they're hoping that you won't listen. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But either way it go, you gonna listen only because there's a results that has to happen that's gonna allow you to pay attention to it. So it's all about how you pay attention and what you're paying attention to. Appreciate the likes as well. So you know this been overbearing for a lot of people, and you got a lot of people that the Most High blessed everyone, the wicked and those who are in between and those who are good. A vocal cord to actually speak out and speak up. And people are so afraid about what they think could happen to them or what will happen to them. But when you got a close relationship with your ancestors, the Most High, your spiritual team, it'll be them before it'll be you. And us chosen know that for a fact, because some of the things I've said in the past as well as present, I would have been out of here. Have they attempted? Of course. Have they attempted? Absolutely. They haven't accomplished anything. They won't accomplish it. Like I said, it'd be them before it'd be me or any of the chosen. Even though all the chosen haven't met each other, and we may not meet each other, but we do pray for one another, for those who are truly chosen, because you got a lot of people out here pretending that they're chosen, but they're not chosen. They're just liars. They just want to fit in, but they ain't got no spiritual gifts. They ain't got no connection to the Most High. They don't know how to speak nothing inspirational. They don't say anything from the heart. You'll see that they're two-faced. They'll give you that smile, that Joker smile at first, and if you continuously to build with them, you'll find out they're not who they say they are. And then, like I said before, you got these old, very old people out here talking about they chosen, and they not chosen. They had their time. They weren't thinking about doing that. When God was calling many people, people chose not to seek the Most High. They chose the streets. They chose other people. They chose other situations. They chose other addictions and other independence and codependence. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the Most High don't play around like that. You do what you want to, not forcing anyone. You know that he's a creator, so by being a creator, he always create more, aka human, however you want to call it, people. So there's always someone that's gonna take somebody's spot when they don't want their spot. You know, A lot of people want us to lose. You can't lose when you working for the Most High. And when you are the same being in a physical body, we're not to be worshipped for sure, but we most definitely to be respected. And for those in the past, and for those in the present, and for those in the future that didn't or don't want to do it, then they'll find out the results. They're not good at all. Not no fear tactic, none of those things. It's just the truth, you know. And all is well. All is well. You know, Chosen, I don't know if you guys been struggling with some things that you have overcome at some point, or you gotta remember we always gotta stay doing our alchemy, and we gotta stay prayed up. We gotta stay doing our affirmations and using all the other tools. And don't need naming all the tools because we got limitless tools. You know, our enemies are always watching us and listening. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, we can take this and take that. We got limitless tools, man. I feel sorry for them for real because everything that they do, regardless if it's temporary work for a little while, it always get dismantled and it back to, square one, where they're not able to do anything. So that's the sad part about it. And the sad part about it, they can actually have the same opportunities like we have, and all they do is change their heart, change their ways, change their mind, and they just refuse to do that. So they at that point where we've been at top for a very long time, and so we not letting nobody take our spot. But see, the reality of that is, it's never been your spot from the beginning. You stole it. You did a lot of things to other people, knowingly and unknowingly, to get the positions that you actually have. And so when you're taking people out, or you bribing people, or you kidnapping people, or you creating scenarios that actually get rid of families and so forth, so on, and the drugs and alcohol and all the other stuff, it's easy to get and manipulate somebody and actually get over them, because the chosen seed are nice people, so they're not naturally mean unless they're provoked. And it has to be something strong for them to actually be provoked, for them to actually respond. They're just not going to respond to immaturity and tension tantrum circumstances / syndrome, monetary moments that people are having because they don't want to take accountability and responsibility for their actions or their emotions or the way that they're thinking. Chosen beings are very wise, and one of their duties is to help others for those who choose to help themselves, because it's like a horse taking it to the pail of water, can't make it drink. To be wise people as well, and then they trickle down to their family and children and so forth, so on, unless they just want to take the route like Diddy and all the ones to come. He's just the beginning. It's interesting to take the top. Recognized for many successes to be an example. And people continuously to think these Europeans got love for them. Europeans ain't got love for nobody. What's good with it, OGJ? The Europeans ain't never had love for nobody. They don't even love their own people. These Caucasians, white people, whatever you guys or they guys, or whatever, choose to call themselves, you're part of the chattel property. For those who don't know what chattel property is, it's very important. If you choose to gain wisdom, is to look it up. What chattel property means, you're owned. That's what chattel property means. And see, this is the thing about these people. These people like to mix up stuff. Like they never wrote stuff. Like they never said it. What they're saying to say in a moment like what I just mentioned is that you sit down with a book and you wrote down chattel property and you gave it a definition. Then you just run around and start telling people like, look what you discovered. But first and foremost, you know you didn't write it. You know that it was written. So why would it be a lie if it's already presented and present for you to actually recognize the truth that is present and it have something that comes behind it, which is defining what its meaning is. Hopefully that didn't lose anyone. Meaning, all I'm saying to say is that you didn't write the word, but you're here informing people about how they're looked at, and people scratching their heads wondering why they're treated a certain way and why they're neglected and rejected and punished and so forth, so on. It's only one punisher. That's the Most High, besides you punishing yourself. Some people feel like slavery is over. I done had conversations, on this journey with people, and some people are closed-minded and some are open-minded, and they understand modern day slavery is the same as slavery. It's against universal law to be telling somebody what they can and can't do. But people don't study, and that's okay. That's why we here. Now you studying. But what we ain't gonna do is what they think we gonna do. All this changing. I mean, there's a lot of people. When you look at 80, 90% followers in the world, they're not ready for the change because people are so used to doing fucked up shit. Excuse my French. Messed up things to themselves and others. How can you adapt instantly or over gradually of time when you're not used to people being generous and nice and kind and loving and giving and so forth, so on, versus all the corrupted stuff that they promote in many areas that are naming these things? Everybody pretty much understood that statement or that point of view. The question is, how can you adapt, and how long do you think it'll take you to adapt if you choose to adapt to change? Because change is one of the most challenging things for most humans in the physical body. Because we get comfortable what we already know versus of the unknown that we don't have no conclusion of. But here's today, truth is that you're always stepping into the unknown because you don't know what's going to happen to you every day. You have a plan, or you may not have a plan. But either way it goes, the way that you end up falling through with those unknown things on a day-to-day basis is that you go through your day. You meet new people, sometimes same people. Sometimes you're doing the same thing, sometimes you're doing different things as well as the same thing. But so that's the unknown. You're already naturally doing it. So what I'm saying to say is that people fear. What are we fearing for? A man is a man. A woman is a woman. Do we see a big giant or something or somewhere and we should actually take precaution or caution to actually do something totally different? I don't think so. Our childhood been very tough for us because we didn't have that nurturing love and unconditional love and that guidance, that truth, those factual facts where you may find a relative who really was a boss, who really got money. We ain't talking about hustling in the street. We're talking about on a legit legal term that is used, legit business or legit go-getter or legit hustle. People didn't have that. But them be some of the same ones tell you how you should do something. It's the broke people that tell you how to get money. I need broke people to sit down. And broke ain't meaning or isn't meaning the form of currency or AKA money, which currency is your energy. You could tell the energy of a person if they a go-getter or not. Rather she or he lose it all, they can get it all. We're not talking about the ones who be manipulating, stealing, and lying to people and deceiving people. We're not talking about those people. Them ain't no money go-getters. They just what everything that I just said. Devils. That's what they are. That's what they'll always be until they change. But they got to do that karma first before they can reach that change. Everyone has to do karma. Even we had and still have to if we haven't cleared things out, which is the karma debt that our ancestors owe for the things that they've done against the Most High's will. You know, there's a thing where spirituality has been downplayed for such a long time, and yes, it has a lot of immature elders in it. They didn't never work on healing. They didn't never work on character. They speak about these things, but I done seen some get very upset over the most smallest things. And naturally, we're not perfect, so yeah, it's possible. But when you take action to go do some of the wisdom that you learn to your initiates or your godchildren and stuff like that, that's a whole different ball game. That means you're an op. I've seen it though. People go spend their money to better their life, and you manipulate in so many ways, and it's very dangerous to be in a cult for the simple reason they end up they masters at what they do because they tapping in the dark side. So you got themselves that pick up these gifts from sacrificing and being intimate with different spirits and stuff like that, and demons and so forth, so on, just to have access to certain things. These are the people that you end up trusting to actually make your life right. But then there's the Most High, which is a test, giving you all the signs to let you know not to do it. I've been there, done that, and could have failed for it again, but I said, I'm about to test something. And when I put it to test, here I am. And I know many wonder what the test is and was. The test was to see if I would be loyal and committed to the Most High versus going to a priest or priestess who would still resolve or attempt to resolve whatever circumstances that I was in. I took everything. I took every hit, every physical, mental, emotional, spiritual hit, especially the spiritual hits. I took a lot of those. My body got hit in many places, but because I didn't give up and because I stayed loyal to the Most High, man, he showed me. Not that he never showed me nothing, man. It was just a test for me to see if I was not going to go back and forth with dealing with man over the Most High. At one point in my life, because I had it so good financially and so many other different materialistic things, I kept the Most High in my heart, but I also was going to man for, to solve my problems. The Most High solve your problems. A lot of times the Most High solve your problem without you even seeing it. You got problems on a day-to-day basis. You got people that want to do so much stuff to you, you have no clue. Even the people that you've known all your life. Even people you just met, and even people you don't even know. And you may question if you was to find out, like, why? When you look within yourself how special you are, you'll realize that's the why. The why is because you're special, you're unique, you're different, you stand out. Doesn't matter if you don't have the things that other people have. The reality is because of your presence is known based off the fact that you're dealing with the Most High. And by you dealing with the Most High, it's them looking at the Most High, even though they can't see the Most High, if that make any sense. To make it short, it's like you having a little son or a little daughter and they look just like you. And so when people see your daughter and son, they're like, oh, I know whose son that is, or I know whose daughter that is. Dang, they look just like their mama, or dang, they just look like their daddy. That's what I mean by that. People ain't never seen the Most High, and that's but they've seen the presence of the Most High, so they literally have seen the Most High. But the Most High is everything. You know, some people, not all, try to put the Most High in this little box or a box. The Most High is going to show thyself at some point in every one of our lives, especially for the non-believers. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot of people who go to church, they say believe, but one of the things I question about them is, why aren't you in the community helping the community? You'll sit in front of the television and watch the news and see gang violence or women suffering or children suffering. And so you think these systematic systems is going to protect and help these people. They're not protecting and helping, because if that case, then how come there's so many deaths in the prison and so many forms of those deaths and injustice and so forth, so on. And one of the biggest tricks they've done is say, okay, we're going to create this systematic system, we promote it, and we let the people know what we're going to do for their community as far as protect them. But in our actuality, you just another person that's in line if you cross that line, and you don't know the law, nor do you study the law, and then you find yourself in a situation like I was hearing this commercial today, right, on my phone, hearing the lawyer, how he wanted people to have some type of sympathy because he got incarcerated based on the fact that he was protecting his friend, and they charged him for interference with the police and I think maybe some other stuff, whatever. But in all actuality, the reason why I don't respect him and he got some kind of organization thing going on is because when you sign up and before you sign up, you already knew police was corrupt. And not only that, there's no telling how many people you threw under the bus that shouldn't have got the time that they've gotten. So lawyers do know that the system is wicked and it's unjust, but I don't respect none of them because they're participating in it versus going against it. You see what I'm saying? But they look at it like, who am I? How can I defeat them and woo, woo, woo. So then you're not as powerful as you think you are because, hey, yeah, I'm a lawyer and I get things done. Well, I'm a child of the Most High. I'm a chosen star seed, and ain't nobody can do shit about it, and ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me, or isn't. That ain't stuff come from that southern hospitality slang, you feel me? Nobody's gonna do anything. Everybody that had their share, I wanna get this out my chest while I'm thinking about it. Everybody, from exes, relatives, to enemies, frenemies, ops, whatever. Everybody had their chance to shoot their shot at me. Everybody shot all their spiritual shots, they slander, they gossip, they smear campaigns, all of that. And I'm sure I'm speaking up for some other chosen that's available or unavailable. Yo, it's up. So whenever you decide the moon magic and the black magic and the witchcraft and the hexes and the jar spell, I know about all that stuff. I know how to do all that stuff as well. But see, I don't misuse my knowledge and wisdom or my gifts. I don't have to dismantle no enemy. The enemy already dismantling his or herself or group. You know, one of the chosen I met a few years ago, she was telling me, like, you really don't know how powerful you is. And I've heard it so many times through so many different people and timelines and moments. And, you know, me being so humble, very humble. I never took any of those moments and got big-headed and egotistic with it, like, yeah, yeah. I didn't do any of that. I stayed humble. Because they got a saying that chosen not humble, and we need to humble them. If we already over in our lane minding our business and you done started all this warfare for no reason, because you want to prove a point to yourself that you can accomplish something, how is it that we not humble? You don't see us on news. You don't see us in the newspaper. You don't see us on platform where, like, yeah, this person did this fraudulent X, Y, Z. And fraud is many different things instead of bringing up a whole bunch of different examples. We're not fraud. You wanted to smoke. So now, like, for me today, I'm speaking up on it. Like, whoever, man. Like for real, I don't care what your skin complexion is, race is, whatever. If you come for me and mine or any of the chosen, we gonna deal with you. You're talking about dealing with something that you can't see and also something that you don't understand and also something that you don't have faith in. But all the tools that you're using, it's ours. That's the interesting and the crazy part. It belongs to us. You're just misusing it. Even if you talk about the demons belong to us. They bow down to us. If that wasn't the case, then you would be able to accomplish whatever your target or your goal has been or was or would be or trying to be or attempting to be. None of it's gonna work, man. We're really sick of y'all. You need to go sit down somewhere and go ahead and do your karma. You gotta pay for it. So all you saying is like, well, I got nothing else to live for, so I'm just gonna go all the way out. I'm gonna try to kill myself on this one. I hope it backfire. It's gonna backfire anyway. But you're hoping that it backfire where it take you out of here. That's up to the Most High if He wants you to leave. But most of you not going nowhere. He wants you to feel it, because you deserve to feel it. Same way you want innocent people as well as ourselves to feel it. You deserve it. We sick of y'all though, especially y'all exes, man. Go away. It's like a gnat and a fly. You know what I'm saying? Time you turn around, fly buzzing and zzz, that sound like a bee, but the fly wings is kind of similar. Just sick of y'all. You had your chance, you had your shot. You didn't make it to the initiation, whatever you call yourself doing, like you moved too slow. But see, God is a strategic being of the universe beyond the the comprehension of any human being on this earth can ever intelligently comprehend. How can you comprehend something that you can't see or understand, diagnose, and so forth, so on? Because you know y'all known for diagnosing things and coming up with these words, these made up words and definitions. Like, yeah, this is what this means. Programming. That shit don't mean a hell of things or a hell of beans. If you're not changing people's lives, you need to sit down and shut the beep up. That's what you need to do. We're tired of hearing all that back and forth. That's all just a bunch of scribble scrabble, man. When you look at television, I don't watch it. When you watch it, all it is a bunch of stuff. Just keep your mind occupied of the importance of not only your life, but the importance of life in general and everything around you. By the time you finish watching television, smoke your little cigarette blunt, you know, a couple shots of alcohol or whatever you choosing to do, you're bitter all day and miserable. Not only towards yourself, but your environment, your community. And you looking at people crazy, and then people looking at you, and then people responding, and they just doing their magic, getting rid of people, and they know by free will they can't actually violate that law anymore. So that's why they get people to do them, hurt themselves in their own way. They just set up the trap, and people fall for it, and then it's over with. That's what happens. People fall for the trap, and then they're looking crazy. Then you got relatives or friends that's crying and saying no and boo-hoo. You're selfish. You're not even thinking about all the people that care about you. You're just thinking about yourself, man. Gotta stop doing that. It's not healthy. Put the shoes on the other side and see how you would feel. Somebody you care about, and as that person you care about actually end their life by making poor choices or even getting into some, you know, contracts that they should be in, end up losing their life, and you trying to tell them not to go this way and don't do this, don't do that. A lot of people can't think the opposite of what they see, but it's a process, and you can get there. You can get there if you try. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, pardon me, y'all. But yeah, peace and blessings. You know, Ola the body Obi Saeem, man. Until next time, y'all have a great day. Be positive. Do your best. Things that's not working out for you, whether it's people, places, things, emotions, whatever it may be, just cut it off. And I know it's easy said than done, but take your time and work on it. Don't be all in your head. Don't be overthinking things. And you'll do just a good job. I promise you that. The job is going to work out for you when you make your decision. Don't get bad advice from people, especially when you know it's not in line with what you need in your life, and that's going to help you out as well. But again, until next time, I'm talk to y'all soon.